Hi guys, I'm not doing another sermon today. This is a different video. I wanted to review one of my favorite films, which I loved. I only rewatched it earlier, and I love this film completely. A lot of people say it's a flop, a lot of people hate it, but the movie I'm referring to is Norbit. And the problem is a lot of people hate on Norbit and a lot of people don't like it because Eddie Murphy, I think, plays two or three characters within the film, and it's frowned upon because he plays an old Chinese man, Mr. Wong, he plays Norbit, and he plays Rasputia. And a lot of people like either don't like the humor of the movie or just certain weird things like supposedly it being fat phobic or I don't know. It's just stupidity in my mind. It is really stupidity. Um, because Rasputia isn't kind of made villain just for the reason she's fat. She's not just the like villain because she's fat. She is fat and the villain. It's kind of a forget the one from Luke Cage. Um, if any of you remember the one from Luke Cage, the when he always fights all the time, the Jamaican lady. I can't remember her name right now. I usually wouldn't know this so well because I love that character, but I know her name is Stokes or something. Miranda, maybe, I don't know. I can't remember, but I don't know where to start with this movie because there's just so many good parts of this film. I really enjoy this film, whether it's laughing at Rasputia winding up Norbit saying, you ain't gonna see through Wednesday if you say Tuesday one more time," which is just hilarious in and of itself. Um, my One of my favorite scenes has got to be a scene that I used to joke about with my dad, which was the wedding scene where he kind of talks about Norbit and Rasputia, and he says, "What's the line? I'm trying to think of the line. I offer you happiness and many bananas for your new gorilla." That's definitely one of my favorite scenes from this film. As well as the scene in the wedding where there's the Italian guy screams, "There's a massive hunker taken out of my cake!" And then Rasputia turns around with cake icing all over her face. And then she just says, uh, "Better mind your damn business. I ain't had no cake." It's clearly apparent that she did. I love this film for so many reasons, whether it's the meticulous backstory in the beginning that kind of brings life to Norbit as a kind of weirdo, as a strange kid, as somebody different from the rest, and kind of being, well, affected by Rasputia in a certain way because she gave him everything, she expects everything therefore back. It's kind of like you go into a deal with a loan shark and they keep wanting more and more and more. And that's Rasputia for you. And it goes to the to the point as Norbit stated, satanic potato art. And another reason I love this film is it doesn't rely on one villain, but actually fleshes out several, and you don't see that a lot in many good films, but there are several villains, like Resputia's one of the villains. Big Blackjack, her other two brothers, they're villains. They are quite goofy, but they're still villains. Um, there is also Buster, who is kind of a villain and just kind of a silly character, but he's also sleeping with Respucia, so you know. And then there's also Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, who is supposed to be Kate's fiance, and he's basically this bad guy who just wants to license a titty bar and have alcohol and all that. And the other two main characters that I love are Norbit's kind of pimp gangster best friends, who are they're just amazing. In every scene they're in, I laugh. Especially the whole love sermon. I love that. The love sermon and the whole like holding back the wedding is just brilliant. I love that scene. And the whole bit with Norbit where he goes, "Oh, I had your ass," and then Cuban Gooding Jr. goes, "That's nice, Norbit. That's nice." Um, and then he calls all the ladies out, and it's just brilliant. This film is just so amazing in so many different ways. Whether it's Respucia trying to make Kate feel insecure because she isn't fat and she pushed her plate away, or if it's Respucia like talking about her reputation and just being ridiculous and kind of, well, claiming she's the big I am. And God, the one thing that I do find deplorable about this film is the treatment of the dog within this film, which is poor little Lloyd, which is just sad because the dog ends up in hospital because of Respucia. But I think it does also show how evil and nasty and callous Respucia can actually be. And one of the funniest scenes in this film is actually when she Norbit talks to Respucia after finding her with Buster, and he said he calls her a whore, and then he runs away, and she injures the postman. Then she runs through a little girl's lemonade stand, and she's trying to catch him through a tree, and then I remember that he called her a tramp, some kind of tramp. I don't know. It was funny. And if we're gonna mention that, we might as well mention the the puppet scene, which is hilarious. It's definitely a spoiler warning if you haven't watched that film yet, because it's just such a good film. There's just so many things you can talk about, and it's just amazing. Like everything in the water park is just hilarious, and I also find the whole hospital bit. The thing is, you will find so many parts of this film where I think you can just laugh. Even the deleted scenes are just full of hilarious pieces. Whether it's the amazing acting of the actor of Kate, or of Terry Crews, or of Snoop Dogg and his other friend, or whether it's the inclusion of Cuban Gooding Jr. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of positives in this film, and I think a lot of people judge this film just because of Eddie Murphy playing three people, when in reality he does really good in this film, and I just love this film through and through. I'm never going to stop loving this film until I die, and I will rewatch it over and over again because I just love it, and every time it makes me laugh. Every time I laugh my ass off, and you know what? Sometimes I think that that's what you need in life. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my review on Norbit. I love Norbit. I could probably carry on and talk about it for days and days and days because it's just one of my favorite films of all time. And I feel like the plot twists within it are just brilliant, especially the fact like they made Respucia so controlling and abusive, and she just kind of had that, well, main character boss bitch mentality before it was even a thing. But the thing that made this film work was how they were constantly taking the piss out of that. And that's why currently Hollywood is just buggered, because they're just doing the complete opposite of still doing that and just enjoying it. But yeah, that's Hollywood. Um, yeah, amazing film. If, you know, you were thinking of watching Norbit, watch it. It is not a waste of time. It's a hell of a film, and I'm sure it'll make you laugh. Have a good night. All the best. Bye.